He said, okay, Americans in trouble. That's all we need to do. So I was going back to the flight line and talking to the other 7 guys that were involved and explaining to them that it's going to be a tough mission. It's going to be a little suicidal. So they were half listening to me while they were picking up their gear and getting ready to fly. They knew Americans were in trouble. Normally, we could have flown as a direct flight and got there in 25 minutes, but we couldn't fly over the jungle because we couldn't see it. We had to follow the roads. We had to follow the road. So instead of flying 100 knots like we normally would, I could only fly 40 knots because the rain was coming in so hard on the windshield. So the crew chief and gunner actually were laying down on the floor of the aircraft, watching the road. And luckily, at the time back then, there was no high tension wires. There was no buildings. There was nothing high enough in our way to worry about hitting. And we weren't in the mountainous area. About 40 minutes, we got to where the compound was, right near the Tay Ninh, the Cambodian border, and it was inflamed. The rockets and the flares and the machine gun fire was there was no question where the base camp was and the fact that they were being overrun. So I called the captain immediately on the radio. I said, okay, we're on your location. Where should we start? And we filled up as much ammunition as we could and took a little bit less fuel to make sure that we could, when we got there, do the job. So he said, we're totally surrounded. He said, but my north side looks like it's going to break. He said, so that's where I want you to concentrate on your fire. So normally we like to fly, like I said, 1,500 feet, dive down to 500 feet and break off. But luckily the clouds broke a little bit and we were able to climb to almost 1,000. That was it. And because if we were in the clouds, we were dead. We would crash. So we couldn't see where we were going. So we had to stay away from the clouds and away from the fog and do the best we could. So there was no question where the enemy was. So I told my wingman, who was John O'Neill, I said, okay, I'm going to roll in. Just follow me and do as much damage as we can. So we flew a couple of missions, and the miniguns were roaring, and the rockets were roaring, and the crew chief and the gunner with their M60 were going, and we broke out. And within 15, 20 minutes, we had shot everything we brought with us. Every round we had with us was gone.